In a world where mediocrity was an unforgivable sin, John built his life upon the pursuit of excellence. His father's words echoed in his mind as he chased after the best in all aspects of his life. But when an unexpected tragedy shattered the foundations of his beliefs, John was forced to confront the true cost of his relentless ambition. From his early years in university, John's curiosity knew no bounds. He devoured books on subjects beyond his degree in economics, and soon found himself immersed in the world of forex trading. As time went on, his hunger for knowledge propelled him into a myriad of lucrative businesses. Parallel to his professional triumphs, John nurtured a love for music. Every evening, he frequented a local jazz bar to bask in the soulful tunes. However, the true reason for his visits lay in the enchanting presence of Patricia, one of the lead musicians. Fate intervened as Patricia's gaze finally met John's, and one magical night, she approached him with a warm smile. Their ensuing conversation marked the beginning of a journey that would test the limits of their love, challenge their beliefs, and redefine the true meaning of success. The next few weeks after that encounter, Patricia and John got to know each other. They got used to their fears, doubts, behaviors, and also insecurities. Everything was going smoothly for the couple, and slowly, weeks turned into months and months into years. One fateful day, John had made up his mind to spend the rest of his life with Patricia. He proposed to her on the beach, and she said yes, which opened another chapter of John's life. But this was met with a slight stumbling block. Patricia's father did not approve of their relationship and would not let the two of them wed, despite their relationship, which has been for many years. Her father already had a prospective husband for her, and he had been pestering her about this for several years, but she would not listen. But John was not ready to give up. He was not going to let anything stand in his way, so he decided to go see Patricia's father himself. It was an unpleasant experience for John, and eventually, they found out they both had more in common with each other, which convinced her father to approve of the wedding. Before the age of 30, John and Patricia got married to each other, but this was only the beginning of something sinister, which was just lurking around the corner. After their marriage, John and Patricia started to acquire properties for themselves. They bought a big house in the city and furnished it with the most luxurious items. After a few months of setting up and getting to enjoy their marriage, they decided to have children. The children grew to be some of the best in school, learning all their moral values from their parents and retaining the intellectual capacity of the parents. But one thing they never told their parents was they were being bullied in school by other kids. One day, John's son, Tom, came home with a huge bruise on his face. He tried to hide it, but his father noticed it during dinner. Concerned about his son, he asked him what happened at school, but did not get a reply. He could see the fear in his son's eyes as he ate dinner, but he did not utter a single word. The following day, John took his son to the principal's office, clearly enraged. He expressed his disgust and anger towards what had happened, and although the principal tried to calm him down, he refused, demanding to see the bully's parents. But the principal told him that the bully's parents were out of town, and he was in the care of the guardians. John refused to leave the principal's office after the meeting. He kept insisting on seeing the parents or guardians of the boy until the principal decided to fix a date when all the parents would be around and the issue would be resolved. The next few days were spent treating Tom, and slowly but surely, he recovered. One day, when John was in the office securing a business deal, he received a call. A group of unknown men had ganged up on his son, beating him to a coma. He stopped the business meeting and rushed to the hospital, fearing for his son. He met with the nurse in the lobby, and she told him his son was in the ICU receiving treatment. At that moment, John did not feel an ounce of rage. All he felt was sadness. As he walked to the room his son was being held, he questioned himself and his thoughts, wondering why he felt no rage or anger toward what had happened. More importantly, he wondered why he was not feeling like pressing charges. A few minutes later, his wife, daughter, and the police had come, and he gave a statement, after which the police left. The following days were tough for John, as his mental health was on the brink of destruction, but he managed to hold on, thanks to the constant words of encouragement from his wife. One night, John decided to sleep at the hospital and stay with his son. He woke up in the middle of the night to get some water and as he sat down, he watched his unconscious son lay still in bed as the heart monitor beeped steadily. A teardrop ran down his cheek as he blamed himself for not taking legal action due to what they did to his son. And as he blamed himself, the monitor started to beep quickly. His son was going into shock. Letting his adrenaline take over his body, he darted out of the room, screaming for a doctor at the top of his lungs. Eventually, he got the attention of a doctor and watched fearfully as they tried to stabilize Tom. But all the efforts of the doctors were futile, and Tom kicked the bucket. John, unable to comprehend what had happened, screamed at the top of his lungs. He fell to his knees, screaming as hard as he could, till his voice started to give away. How was he going to break the news to his wife? What was he going to tell her? So many conflicting thoughts ran through his mind as he wept for his late son, watching as they covered his corpse with the blanket. The next day, John broke the news to his wife and his 13-year-old daughter. They all mourned for a few days, but John just wouldn't press charges. Not even his wife. A few months passed after Tom's death. Everything seemed to be going fine, and one day, the family decided to make breakfast. While in the kitchen, his wife kept complaining that she felt lightheaded, and although her husband urged her to lie down, she refused, claiming she wanted to finish up the cooking. As she stirred the food in the pot, she suddenly collapsed. Immediately, John was gripped by trauma. His late son's image flashed before his very eyes, and he quickly called 911 while trying to revive his wife. The ambulance arrived as fast as they could and attended to his unconscious wife. While in the ambulance with his daughter, he held on to his wife, seriously praying nothing happened to her. On getting to the hospital, she was treated by the doctors, and he was finally informed that she had a growing brain tumor and was going to die within 3 months. John just sat there, staring at the doctor. His mind had fallen into complete chaos, but his body refused to move. Why was everything falling apart? He thanked the doctor and went home with his wife. Slowly, the trauma of the event started to affect his psychology, and this took a toll on his Forex trading. He was not able to perform proper analysis anymore and started losing money to the Forex market more than usual, so he stopped trading. As time went on, John's ability to properly care for his daughter started to decline, and he considered letting her be in the custody of child services. But his wife, despite her declining health, protested against it. One morning, John got out of bed early and decided to freshen up and brush his teeth before starting his daily activities. At the time, his wife had already lost some of her hair and was already losing weight. He tidied up his side of his bed and tapped his wife to get up so he could do hers, but she would not reply. He called out to her, but got no reply. Desperate, he checked for a pulse, but felt nothing. Quickly, he called 911, and as the paramedics arrived, they did everything they could to revive her. But despite their efforts, his beloved wife was gone. In the following months, John struggled to take care of his daughter and manage his grief. With the help of a therapist, he began the long road to healing. He realized that he couldn't do it alone, so he reached out to his family and friends for support, and together, they worked to rebuild their lives. Though his businesses suffered initially, John found solace in his love for music. He began to visit the jazz bar again, this time seeking comfort in the melodies that had once brought him and Patricia together. He rediscovered his passion and started investing more time and energy into his ventures, slowly regaining control. Years passed, and John continued to work hard, balancing his career and the responsibilities of being a single father. He made sure his daughter never wanted for anything, and their bond grew stronger every day. Eventually, he managed to save enough money to invest once more, this time more cautiously. John's life was far from perfect, but he had found a new rhythm. He had come to understand that success wasn't just about material wealth, but about the love and support of the people around him. Though he would always carry the pain of losing Patricia, he had learned to cherish the time he had with his daughter and to find joy in the simple pleasures of life. One evening, as he sat in the jazz bar, the music swelled around him, and for the first time in years, he felt truly at peace. As he closed his eyes and let the music wash over him, he knew that he had found a way to live a life that honored both the memory of his wife and the love he had for his daughter. And in that moment, he realized that sometimes the most beautiful melodies come from the most unexpected places. As we reach the end of John's remarkable journey, we hope you found this story captivating and inspiring. If you enjoyed this video, please show your support by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. We'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. What topics or stories would you like us to cover in our next video? Don't forget to click the bell icon to receive notifications when we upload new content, and be sure to check out the next episode in our series. You never know what incredible stories and life lessons you'll discover. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, remember that sometimes the most beautiful melodies come from the most unexpected places.